Hi students, I welcome you to this English class. Here we are studying a lesson for students of class 10th. This is a poem titled Mirror, written by Sylvia Plath. I am your tutor Ruchika Gupta. So let us see what we'll cover in this video. We'll cover the poem and I'll explain it to you. Then we'll discuss the important literary devices used in this poem. First stanza, I am silver and exact. I have no preconceptions. Whatever I see, I swallow immediately, just as it is, unmisted by love or dislike. I am not cruel, only truthful, the eye of a little god, four-cornered. First of all, let us see the meanings. Silver here refers to the color of the mirror. The mirror says that I am silver in color. The next word is exact. Exact means accurate, precise. Preconceptions means expectations, having any preconceived notions in your mind. Then the next word is swallow. Swallow does not mean actually to eat something, but here it means to absorb. The next word is unmisted. Unmisted means without mist or being very clear. Cruel means inhuman, harsh. So over here, first of all, this I stands for the mirror. As I have told you earlier, in this poem, the mirror has been personified. The mirror is narrating its own tale to us. So the mirror is introducing itself and it tells about its description. It tells about its appearance. It says, I am silver in color. When we look at the mirror, the color of the mirror appears to be silverish. And then the mirror says, I am very accurate. I am very precise. Whatever comes in front of me, I reflect it as it is. Then the mirror says, I have no preconceptions. The mirror says, I have no expectations from anyone. So the mirror wants to say that it treats everyone the same. Then it says, whatever I see, I swallow immediately. Now the mirror wants to say that whatever object appears in front of the mirror takes in that image in it. And then the mirror says, just as it is. It says that just like the object appears to be, similarly the mirror reflects it back. And the mirror says, I am unmisted by love or dislike. So the mirror says that it is unbiased. It does not have any preconceived notions about anyone. The mirror is very clear. Mirror does not have any feeling of love or hatred for anyone. So the mirror is same for everyone. The mirror treats everyone equally. The mirror is not cruel. It is not harsh. Why is the mirror saying this thing? The mirror says that if someone feels that I am cruel, I am showing a bad image of the person, I am reflecting the person's image in a bad way, it's not like that. The mirror says, I am truthful. I am just showing you your true appearance, your true reflection, just the way you actually are. And then the mirror says, the eye of a little god, four-cornered. Now here, the mirror is comparing itself to God's eyes. The mirror says, just like God is unbiased, God treats everyone the same way. God looks upon all the things in the same way. He treats everyone equal. Just like that, the mirror says, I am also very true, unbiased, and I treat everyone the same. And then the mirror says, four-cornered. So here, the mirror says, I also have four corners. You can see any mirror which is rectangular in shape or square in shape has four corners. So the mirror says that just like God looks around in all the four corners in the same way, He treats everyone equally. Similarly, the mirror says, I also have four corners and I also look at everything equally. I am unbiased. I don't have any partiality in me. I have no preconceived notions in my mind. Now we move ahead to the next stanza. most of the time meditate on the opposite wall. It is pink with speckles. I have looked at it so long, I think it is a part of my heart. But it flickers. Faces and darkness separate us over and over. Meditate here means to think deeply. But here the mirror wants to say that he keeps on looking at the wall which is opposite the mirror. The next word is speckles. Speckles means small spots, tiny marks. Flickers means quick movements, changes, rapid changes. So in this stanza the mirror says that for most of the time, maximum time, what the mirror does, it keeps on looking at the wall which is in front of the mirror. The mirror says that it looks at this wall so intently, so carefully that it can even see the tiny pink spots on the wall. Further, the mirror says that the mirror keeps on looking at the wall for such a long time that the mirror feels that this wall is a part of the mirror's heart. Now, if you can imagine here, let us see at this image. This is the mirror and the central part of the mirror. Outside there is the frame. And where there is this glass, in this glass we can see the wall which is in front of the mirror. So it seems that this wall is also a part of the mirror only. That is what the mirror is saying. It keeps on looking for this wall opposite it for such a long time that it seems that this wall is a part of it. And then it says it flickers. That means this thing changes. There are changes in this image. Why are there changes? Because faces and darkness separate us. Us here stands for the mirror and the wall in front of the mirror. So the mirror says that there are two things which separate the mirror and the opposite wall. They are the faces. Faces of people who come and stand in front of the mirror. When a person will come and stand in front of the mirror, the person's reflection will be seen in the mirror and the wall will disappear. Similarly, when there is darkness, no image is formed on the mirror's surface and so the wall will disappear from the mirror. So that is what the mirror is saying, that in two instances, in two situations, the wall gets separated from the mirror. Otherwise, all the time, the wall remains a part of the mirror. So in this stanza, the mirror tells us that for most of the time it keeps on looking at the wall in front of it. It says it can even identify the small pink spots on the wall. And further the mirror says it keeps on looking at the wall for such a long time that it feels that the wall is a part of the mirror only. And then it says that this appearance changes whenever any person comes and stands in front of the mirror, the wall disappears. And when there is darkness, no images are formed on the mirror. Even then, the opposite wall disappears. Now we move on to the next stanza. Now, I am a lake. A woman bends over me, searching my reaches for what she really is. Then she turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. I see her back and reflect it faithfully. She rewards me with tears and an agitation of hands. Now here the word reaches means depths. And then agitation means nervousness or feeling irritated. So in this stanza, the mirror compares itself to a lake. Now what is the similarity between a mirror and a lake? Here you can see in this image, the lake's surface is also like a mirror. It is reflecting the trees and the hills. That is what the mirror is saying. That just like a lake reflects images, similarly the mirror says even I have depth like the lake. The mirror says even I have many secrets hidden in me. And then the mirror says a woman bends over me, searching my reaches, searching my depths for what she really is. The woman keeps on looking intently at the mirror because she wants to really identify. she wants to make out the tiny flaws in her appearance. And so she looks at the mirror very carefully. And then he says she turns to those liars, the candles or the moon. Now when she feels that the mirror shows the flaws in her appearance, she is not very happy. And so she tries to get praised by the candlelight or the moonlight. Now the mirror says that the candles and the moon are liars. Why does the mirror say this? He says that the candlelight and the moonlight is very dim. It is very soft. And so it overlooks the minute flaws in the woman's appearance and praises the woman. But that praise is false. And so the mirror says that the candles and the moon are liars. And on the other hand, the mirror says, I see her back and reflect it faithfully, truthfully. The mirror says, I am very true. I am faithful to the woman. I show her her true image, her true appearance. All the flaws in her appearance, I show them to her. But she rewards me with tears and an agitation of hands. Now when the mirror shows her true reflection, the woman is not pleased. She is not happy. She gets sad to see that she is not perfect. She has many flaws in her face, in her beauty. And then what she does? How does she react? She starts weeping and she is irritated. And in irritation, she waves her hand. So she is not very happy at what she gets to see in the mirror. And in return, she gives the mirror tears and an agitation of her hands. So she does not want to accept what the mirror shows her, because the truth is very hard and very harsh for her to bear. So in this stanza, the mirror says that the mirror is also like a lake. The mirror has depth in it. The mirror says that a woman looks at herself very carefully in the mirror because she wants to identify the tiniest flaws in her appearance. But she is not very happy when she sees that she is not very perfect. And then she turns to the candlelight or the moonlight, which falsely praise the woman's beauty. And so the mirror says that they are liars. The mirror says that I am very faithful to the woman. I show her true image, which is very harsh for her to bear. And so she gets unhappy. She rewards the mirror with tears. She starts weeping and she waves her hand in opposition to what she sees in the mirror. Now we move on to the next stanza. I am important to her. She comes and goes. Each morning it is her face that replaces the darkness. In me she has drowned a young girl, and in me an old woman rises toward her day after day like a terrible fish. Now over here the word drowned means no longer exists. It does not mean that someone has actually drowned in the mirror, but something which does not exist any longer. And the next word is terrible. That means extremely bad, very bad. So in this stanza the mirror says that the mirror is very important to the woman because she often looks at herself in the mirror. In fact, every morning the first image that appears on the mirror is that of the woman's face. So whenever there is daybreak, after the darkness, the first image that is formed on the mirror's surface is the face of the woman. So she is so regular, she looks at her face every morning. Then the mirror says, in me she has drowned a young girl. Now who is this young girl? This is the past image of this woman. When she was young, she was a pretty girl. What is the mirror saying here? This appearance of the woman does not exist any longer because now she has aged ahead. And this image is still there in the mirror. The mirror says that this past of this woman is still there in me, although it does not exist any longer. And in me, an old woman rises toward her. So the mirror says that the woman's future, her future image, that of an old, ugly looking woman, that is also saved in the mirror only. And with each passing day, this future image of the woman is getting closer to her. And it is just like a terrible fish, an ugly looking bad fish. And one day, Where will this woman see this future face of hers? In the mirror itself. One day when she will look at herself in the mirror, she will see this old ugly face of hers in the mirror. So in this stanza, the mirror says that the mirror is very important to a woman. She often looks at herself in the mirror. In fact, every morning the first image that is formed on the mirror's surface is the woman's face. And then the mirror says that the woman's past appearance of a young, pretty girl does not exist any longer, but it is still saved in the mirror. It has drowned away in the mirror only. And her future appearance of an old, ugly woman is getting closer to her with each passing day, and like a terrible fish, one day it will pop out of the mirror. One day when the woman will look at herself in the mirror, she will see this ugly appearance of hers in the mirror only. With this, the poem comes to an end. Now we discuss the literary devices that have been used in the poem. So the first device is personification. This is very important and very prominent in the poem. At many places, in fact in the entire poem, the mirror has been personified. When it says, I am silver, whatever I see, I swallow, I am not cruel, the eye of a little god, I have looked at it, I think, I see her back, in me, an old woman rises toward her. All these instances show that the mirror has been personified. Then the candles and the moon have also been personified when he says them liars. Then the next instance of literary devices is simile. Simile is a comparison using like or as. When he says an old woman rises toward her day after day like a terrible fish. So this appearance of an old woman is compared to a terrible fish. This is simile. The next device used is alliteration, that is repetition of a consonant sound in the words most of the time meditate. Here mer sound is repeated. I see, I swallow. Here sir sound is repeated. The next literary device used in this poem is repetition. Repetition is used to lay emphasis on something. When the poet says over and over, this word is repeated. Another device used is a metaphor. Metaphor is an indirect comparison. You are comparing a particular quality of two things. When the poet says the eye of a little god, she is comparing the mirror's truthfulness to God's truthfulness. She wants to say that the mirror treats everything equally just like God does. And then, now I am a lake. Here the mirror is being compared to a lake. So with this lesson comes to an end. If you want to see the background of the poem and the summary, they are given in a separate video. The link is given in the description box. Thank you.